Alright, episode 2 of the art roasting series. You thought I was going to be mean, but I'm actually not. I'm going to go over these pieces submitted by the community over on the Discord, and I'm going to give some critique, feedback, a little bit of paint over, suggestions, and, just sort of give my 2 cents on your piece, a bit of critique. Alright? I'm not going to be a jerk like the thumbnail implies. That's just for YouTube. But so first off, let's get right into it. Our first entry comes from Fana. She did this Hannah Fana. That's a fun name. Anyway, she did this Dracula thing, right? So she went for this monochromatic look, which is cool. I like monochromaticity, monochromaticism. There we go. But there's an issue. The flowers, they are different colors. Like, commit to it, man. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go for a monochromatic piece, don't inject colors that are not in that color range. You know what I mean? It's a bit jarring. So the first thing we did was we went over the flowers to make them to fit the monochromatic theme, sort of give it more red, more or less. And then, of course, we went in with the lines too. Should also note that the lines were black when, if you're going to be monochromatic, go all the way. Not to mention there's a bit of a weird cropping with the border. I would actually either shrink the actual image in the border so that the window, I think, that I'm looking at, or maybe that's a mirror, fits in the frame. It doesn't have that weird part at the top, kind of going off the edge, sort of creating a tangent, which we will be talking about tangents today. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a pretty good piece. The ear could use a little bit of definition because, kind of looks like it could just be a horn or something. The bangs are kind of creating a tangent with the eyebrows, which, is an easy fix. Obviously study skulls, look at real people, real things, study real anatomy, and then apply that to your stylization. I do like the piece. It's kind of fun. Could use a little bit more definition in the cape, though, or the cloak, rather. It would have a nicer flow to it if you had some folds in there. Remember that folds create shadows. We'll be talking about clothing folds in a later piece. Just one thing to note is that the fangs kind of bothered me. Is that the upper teeth, the canines are behind the ones in the bottom teeth. And that's not how teeth work. Your canines are a little bit closer to the end of your mouth, or I guess the outside part. Like, you got your 2 front teeth, your 2 teeth after that, then your canines. Right? Hold on, I'm touching my teeth right now. Yeah. And your bottom canines are actually behind your top canines. I know he's the vampire, so you want to exaggerate that. But, put them in the proper order, Obviously, it's a lot of anatomy studies just to get the hang of that, look at skulls. But overall, I think this is a pretty cool piece. Keep at it. Really cool. Love Dracula. Dracula's awesome. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, I'm actually not using a script for this one. I'm just going off the cuff and a few bullet points. But this one is from Moneybag Casino. Really cool character designs. I like them. They're fun, They, I don't know, they feel kind of retro, but sort of modern at the same time, Anyway, you got a problem immediately, and that's a tangent created by the character in the foreground's hand and the character in the background's knee pad. I think that's what you were going for there. So yeah, you want to fix that. As a matter of fact, it might be even better if you expand the canvas out and move the character over. And not to mention, the cropping is a little bit weird for the character in the background. He's got just half of his arm out of the frame. You know what I mean? You're better off just drawing the entire arm. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little, not off-putting, just, I don't know, compositionally, it feels like it's a little weak, you kind of just try to cram it in there, if it's a digital piece, you can just stretch it out, it's fine, you know what I mean? Do like the colors are very nice. Let's see, what else did I write here? The background texture, I mean, I could take it or leave it. Personally, I'm not that big of a fan of a background texture like this, but, up to you to decide. That's just a personal preference. Again, I'm not like a professional. If you like my artwork and you want my critiques, submit. All right. Just get a little bit of insight onto how I do things, maybe pick up a thing or two, or maybe just be entertained by these videos and have people see your art while we're at it, right? Yeah, there's this thing with the hair over the eye, which is kind of like a pet peeve of mine. I know that's really popular practice in a lot of anime where they have like transparent hair. I don't know, it makes me nuts, but commit to it, you know what I mean? Like draw the eyebrow for the other eye, and draw the pink over the eye. You can keep it transparent, though. It's fine. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, commit to it. Do think the stars might be a little unnecessary, but, take or leave. Up to you. Oh, and one more thing. The boob on this character in the foreground is a little confusing because you got this, like, red band around her, and, like, the line goes over her boob. So I would just change that line color. That's all. And maybe boost the logo on her shirt to be a little bit more noticeable. And... yeah, what else? Is the hair? If she's leaning in, gravity would pull her hair down, But yeah, her hair would fall because of gravity, right? Because she's leaning over. So, you could do that. Probably push it a little bit more. Overall, I do like this piece. It's fun. It's got a fun style, I couldn't really tell what the character in the background was holding. I think it's supposed to be an RPG. If you were going to draw an RPG, rocket power grenade launcher, make those things are huge. Make them big, Always pull up reference, It's fine. Don't worry. The FBI is watching all of us already, so it's fine. You can type it in. Anyway, cool piece. Thank you for sending it in. Keep up the good work. And we are on to NebulaBunny. Alright, so NebulaBunny sent in 4 pieces, which is the maximum, by the way. So if you're going to submit for future episodes, link to the Discord down below. Maximum of 4 pieces per entry, and I want you guys to start adding just a little bit of description to your entry. Just tell me what your intent was with the piece, or what in particular you want me to critique for future reference, so I can help you out a little bit more. Because this is about community, helping each other out, helping to improve as we go. So my only thing with this, this Lamia, no, I think it's, that's the female snake. Naga, I think? I'm not sure. Whatever. This mythical creature. It's cool. It's badass. A lot of people commented it was awesome that you drew a buff dude that's actually hydrated and not have, like, the shredded abs. Personally, when I draw, like, jack dudes, I like to draw, like, the dehydrated, like, shredded look because I just like to draw more lines. But cool. Like the body type representation here. Stay hydrated out there. But my one thing is the black on black is a little bit confusing. Obviously a little bit of contrast just to see the end of the character sort of fades into the background. And yeah, honestly, that's about it. Maybe a little bit of drop shadow. You could put maybe like a little bit of a lighting on there or something in the background. But yeah, overall, I dig this first piece of the snake dude. For the guy in the chair, let's see. What did I write on my script? Yeah, the atmospheric perspective you did on that chair leg, that chair leg's like right there. It's like not really far away to fade out like that, so you could draw it in. I know the other one next to his left leg is it's like partially there, just barely visible. Just erase it, man. Just pretend his leg's over. It's fine. It's all right. Take some artistic liberties, all right? So you don't get a tangent going on. And, could use a drop shadow just to, plant him down into place. And, yeah, that one's pretty good. On to the next one is the boxer guy, hydrating near the rocks over there. I honestly don't really have much for this one. I like it as is. I think the lighting's good. I like the line work, the character design's fun. Maybe just add a little bit of texture to the rocks. That might push it a little bit more. I'd actually recommend Fist of the North Star. Very violent manga, extremely gory, but I really like the way that Tetsuo Hara did rock formations, of all things. So I would recommend looking at that to, see a more illustrative way to approach rock textures. Obviously, pull up photos, go outside, Going outside is good for us artists. I know we don't do it a lot, but, we can look around and, take that into our visual library. All right. As for the guy on the ground here, lying down, I don't know. Maybe he's got diarrhea or something. I don't know. He's like clutching his stomach a little bit. All right. I kid. This is great. Like, you clearly understand anatomy. You know what you're doing. Shit, better than my art. A lot of you guys are better than me. I'm looking at the Discord and I'm like, God damn, you guys are like so much better than me. I would probably just add some drop shadow and maybe like more highlights, just to kind of really light the scene. That's about it. I don't really have much I can offer. You might want to go to one of the bigger art YouTubers that are a little bit better than me. I don't know. It's great stuff, dude. Thanks for sending it in. Keep it up, man. I love these. All right, on to that one trash man. His name. I didn't name him. He called himself that one trash man. All right, that one trash man sent in a few of these. All right, we got 3 from him. First, we got this cool like Grim Reaper guy with the like half skeleton mask. That's pretty cool. The fold in the clothes is a little bit sus there, buddy. So yeah, that's the one thing that I noticed right away is the folds in the clothing are a little inconsistent, kind of weirdly going around. Now obviously I make mistakes all the time too, but yeah, some of these could be like adjusted a little bit just to sort of add like more emphasis to like the flow of the clothing. Obviously cloaks are gonna fold over a little bit. When they fold over, they create shadows too. Marco Bucci has a phenomenal video on clothing folds that everyone watching this video should go watch with a notebook, and I feel like I'm gonna say you should go watch Marco Bucci with a notebook in hand for every single one of these videos. But that guy's great. He's like one of the best art teachers on YouTube. You should be watching him if you want to get better. But yeah, one thing other than the folds, the arm, the left arm underneath the cloak, you probably could have put like a little bit more definition for the arm to show him that he has an arm there. Unless he wasn't supposed to, I don't know. But yeah, just a little bit of definition there. And the background is a little bit kind of in the same range of colors, so I would just brighten that up a little bit, create a little bit more contrast to read the character a bit better, but that's more of a personal preference. I do kind of like the dark, moody vibes too. But yeah, maybe add a little bit of highlights just to sort of light the scene a little bit more. But overall, it's a fun character design. I like it. On to the next one. All right, we got a big problem with the next one, and that is the tonality of it. I couldn't make out what it was at first because all the colors are like so much in the same range, like it's really muddied. You know what I mean? Like I'm going over the entire piece holding down the Alt key, and I'm going to zoom in onto the color wheel, and you'll see how like that thing barely moves from the bottom left. You know what I mean? Like I understand you're going for a darker piece here, but like you got to be able to read it. All right, the next thing is the typography. Your choice of font is it's kind of funny. It's like the kind of font you would use in a wedding invitation. You got to understand that fonts give different moods. Same thing with like colors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you want something more like a chiller font or something like I used here to go over it. I forget the name of the font I use. I don't know. It's one of the spooky fonts. But yeah. If you're going to do something with typography, make sure it fits the mood. You know what I mean? You got like chunky, clean letters, like you're thinking like corporate logo. You got these like script letters, you're thinking like wedding invitation. You got these like dripping, like running, like weird looking letters. There you go. Halloween, spooky, evil. Ooh. You know what I mean? Obviously, a little bit of contrast would help, especially for the character in the foreground. Gave him or her or them, I don't know, I can't really make them out, an outline too to make them like appear more because I can't really see it in the original, but yeah, overall I do like the concept of the piece, but why are they furries? But yeah, moving on to your Cthulhu thing. All right, so the first thing I noticed was the lightning in the background. It looks like an overcomplicated thing. Lightning is actually really easy to draw. Like, it's literally just white. It's literally white lines. Like, if you look at pictures of lightning that have been captured, like, it's really easy if you just reference those. The motion is a little bit confusing. Kind of looks like you used, like, motion blur, but, like, one in all different directions. I think, to my understanding, this Cthulhu guy is, like, swimming through the ocean really fast, which is kind of a cool concept. But I couldn't really tell where the tentacles were going, so I did this more graphic thing with the speed lines that you see. I'd recommend manga to look at that, where they kind of take the line work and just turn them into speed lines. Kentaro Miura did that a lot, but you can see that in a lot of manga. Yeah, and you should probably get like a little bit of a directionality to the motion, right? So that's why I kind of did those speed lines off the like shell or mountain that you were going for there. And yeah, the clouds could be a little bit more defined. I like to just use a texture brush. I'm trying to keep my brushes and layers on screen because none of these other art roasters, art YouTubers show you that, and it's so goddamn annoying when they don't tell you what brushes they're using. But yeah, overall, like, I like the original piece too, but yeah, I think these are the minor tweaks I do to it. I don't know, it's got kind of a cool vibe, very Lovecraftian, obviously, with the Cthulhu vibes. You know, a little bit of texture in the water be good. If you actually read Vinland Saga, the manga, what's his name? Yukimura? Was it? No. Hold on, I got the manga right over there. Yukimura. Yeah, it was Yukimura. Makoto Yukimura. He draws water really good. Check out the way that guy draws water. Obviously, you got more of like a rendered style, and his style is more illustrative, but it's always good to take a look at somebody that works in a little bit of a different style. But yeah, I think just some minor tweaks to this one, you got a cool piece. There was a little bit of a tangent with the one tentacle in the lightning, which there's been a lot of tangents today, guys. So just so you know, a tangent is sort of like when like two separate things kind of create a line together and like mess up the whole composition. You want to try to avoid those, all right? As much as possible. They do exist in real life. Like if you take a photo of somebody like next to something, it might create a weird line, but you want to try to avoid those when you're composing your artwork. So that's a wrap on this installment of Art Roasting. All right, guys, so I hope I was able to help you out a little bit, give you a little bit of critique, a little bit of feedback, you know. You can take it or leave it, you know. I'm not like a professional art teacher or anything, just, you know, if you like my style and you want a little bit of insight into this or whatever, or like recommendations on how I think you could improve your pieces, you know, that's sort of what this series is about. It's not really about like, I'm gonna be a funny troll, and get 1 million views, and I'm gonna edit my audio really annoyingly so that every 5 seconds sounds like I'm doing an upward inflection. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah, this is more like a community critique kind of thing. If you guys can recommend politely some critiques for these submitters who were brave enough to put themselves out there, hey, I'm sure they'll be willing to hear you out, but politely down there. If you don't like my critiques, go ahead, roast me into infinity. It's fine. I love mean comments. You know, I'm always clicking help for review, you know. I don't know, I find them funny. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff. If you want to submit for the next art roasting, check out the Discord. Limited to 4 submissions per entrant, and add like just a little description so I know what you're going for, so I can help you out a little bit more. And yeah, check that out over on the Discord on the art roasting tab. I'll link it in the pinned comment. And stay tuned for next time when I really do post the next iceberg entry. 100%. I'm not kidding. It's happening. It's happening. It's half done already. So stay tuned for that. I just had to get something out. It's been like 2.5 weeks. But before we go, as always, thank you for watching this video.